let's move to our first guest, who is Emma Carmichael from Deadspin. Can we get her on? Hold on, yeah, let me give her the HoopSpeak intro image here from Anthony Bain. Emma,
Wow.
how are you doing?
Good. I'm with the Hulk, I see.
You are with the Hulk. You're a Hulkamaniac. That's one thing that people know about you.
She
That's
always has
true.
been.
I can't get enough. Yeah, never.
All right. Well, let's start off with something that you wrote about visiting the D-League tryouts, the open tryouts in New York. If you haven't checked out our piece on Deadspin, do so. It's a very sobering account of the dream of reaching the NBA. Did you come away from that a little bit depressed?
Hopeful, I think. Truly hopeful. No, it was sad. It wasn't really depressing. It was a bleak atmosphere to be in. Like for 8 hours, by the end of the day, I kind of wanted to like run with puppies or something, or like do something positive. Um, I wouldn't call it depressing because everyone there, no, not everyone there. I think some of the better players had a realistic sense of why they were there and how they'd gotten there, but like
Mm-hmm.
maybe 5 or 10 guys kind of truly believed that they had a shot at getting invited to camp, and I mean anyone probably in this chat could outplay them.
Probably not Zach. But
Oh yeah, no.
we're
Oh wow.
no. So when you talk to the coach, though, I mean, one thing that I took away from your piece was the. I think that people underplay the condition that NBA players and professional athletes generally are in. A lot of guys show up and can be like weekend warriors, but to be in shape to compete at that level for a lot of time, it's not a sometimes endeavor. You have to really be committed, and because of that, it seems like it would be difficult to just come out of nowhere as an NBA level or even a D League level player. Like someone somewhere should know about you at that point.
Yeah, I mean the players well, first of all, it seemed like the coaches had a sense of like the 10 guys they were going to pick from the very beginning, which was kind of interesting.
Sure.
And even like a bystander could just tell by watching who was going to be asked to play in the final game, I think. But the guys who were in shape were the ones who like the coaches were actually interested in, because they basically want guys who are able to come off the bench and I don't know, move the ball around on offense and like run their asses off and never complain. So they did they did the shuttle drill, which you guys are probably familiar with the beeps and stuff. And
Yeah.
there was
The
one
beep
kid.
test.
His name, yeah, the beep test. And blanking on his name, it was like Ed Wilson, maybe. I just made that name up. I have no idea what it was.
There's no way
But
that's.
Carl Longenberger.
yeah, something like that. But he ran 2 miles straight at a sprint in like 15 minutes in the beep test, and obviously made it to the final round because that's they can see right away that he's going to be conditioned for their team.
So, at this tryout, did you get the sense that a lot of people truly believed they were one break away from really making this, or was it more like hey, I'm gonna go see if I can make it to the final round of this thing, like almost like a college walk-on tryout?
It kind of varied. Like there was actually a true hoop writer at the tryouts from the Knicker blogger, and he was obviously there kind of for interest and for fun, and wasn't like hinging on any long lost hoop dream or anything. But there were a few guys. Like one guy had actually taken the day off work. He was a tax attorney, and he had just like come in from Midtown, showed up, like had clearly like maybe played in like Urban Professional League or something, but more likely had no high school experience or anything like that. And he actually chipped his tooth. He was there. He was like there for the long haul.
You said he dove. He died. He broke it on the floor, right, when he dove for a ball.
Yeah, yeah, directly in
Ugh.
half. He like saved the remains. It was like his
Oh,
souvenir
never
kind of.
hustle.
As well as a picture with Allen Houston, which was the real highlight of the afternoon, I think. And then there was another guy, like this kid from Brooklyn, who I think he was maybe like 20 years old, and he was just like, it was just a terrible basketball player. And when I talked to him when I talked to him afterwards, it was really clear that he like really thought that he had a chance, you know, and like he used the word like this is my dream, like I'm gonna keep coming out for my dream, and you're just kind of smiling and nodding, like all right.
Was his name Graydon Gordian?
It was not. I'm surprised Graydon Gordian was not there actually.
Oh,
Graydon's
you
amount
played.
of talking to actual game is insane. Anyway, sorry, Zach,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Graydon's amount of talking to anything is insane. You actually played some college ball, right? You went to Vassar. Do you think you could have taken the majority of people out here?
You know, no.
Let the
I
ego out,
definitely was
Emma.
not-
Yeah, just let it flow. This is what
definitely-
the show's for.
I would say I'm not, you know, I'm not conditioned. I would have died in the shuttle drill, and you know, I have no pride about that. But in terms of like basic basketball skills, like I don't know, maybe 10 out of 30 guys there probably didn't know what his own defense was, you know, and yeah, I could have been there with the basketball knowledge at the very least.
Okay, so we have a audience question here. All right, this is a pretty straightforward one from Calvin and Hobo. Emma, around how tall was the tallest guy there? Were there any legit 7-footers?
Not a legit 7-footer. I think there were two legit 6'10" players. And this actually was kind of interesting. I talked to an assistant coach afterwards. This guy, Ben McDonald, is a really nice guy. And he said at like the one-day tryouts, he never looks for guards. He always looks for centers and forwards because he doesn't think you can like evaluate a guard in a single day of play. So he seemed really impressed by two of the big guys. And I was too. There was one kid who played at NC Central, and I found out he hadn't played any high school ball. But he was a really athletic center, and so no, not a legit 7-footer though, unfortunately.
All right, so I'm just trying to imagine this coach. They charged for people to show up, but it was basically for the gym space. So do you think the D League teams, like, it seems like it would be a good revenue source? Like, here, pay to try out. We'll take your money, have a coach watch you. You get to take a picture with Allen Houston. It's like adult basketball camp, but with a slightly more serious tinge.
Yeah, actually, that's exactly. In the morning, especially, it felt a lot like basketball camps I'd gone to in high school. I mean that in a nice way because it was organized. But I mean, they had 35 guys there, and each guy paid $150. And I can't do math, but you know that's some money.
Right.
That's over $200,000.
Yes, something like that. But I was at least thinking they would like provide lunch for these guys or like let them take home their pennies or something, and there was none of that. I really think that the souvenir was the Allen Houston photo for sure.
Right, and it may be a chipped tooth that you can frame later.
Yeah. I hope he makes a ring with that tooth.